What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Process Podcast. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm your host, Matt Corman. Today is Tuesday, November 25th, 2025. Today, I'm going to jump right into it. I got a story here that I want to talk about. It's the co-founder of WhatsApp and his incredible story on how he made it happen in life. For those that don't know what WhatsApp is, you're fucking crazy. But WhatsApp is a messaging platform that was acquired by Facebook or Meta in a multi-billion-dollar acquisition deal. Insane. The reason I want to talk about the story today is because everything that I do in my life follows the mantra of making things happen. If you're just tagging along right now, I've Make It Happen tattooed on my right arm. The people that consume my content, my fans, I don't like calling people fans, but they're part of the MIH fam, which is the Make It Happen family, because there's a huge theme within my music, the podcasting, everything I do, of just growing something from zero to something, starting from nothing and making it something over a long period of time. Similar to this podcast, you're probably watching this right now. If you're watching on YouTube and you're like, this kid's only got 37 subscribers on this channel, like who the fuck is he? Well, I started this podcast from zero just now. If you look behind me, I have 500 million streams across all my music. I have over 150,000 subscribers on my music channel. But I wanted to start the podcast from zero and have the people that are here right now come along for the journey as I do build it from zero over time. This is something that I plan on doing for the next decade for sure. So you're with me on that journey right now as we go through and make it happen. And while you are watching on YouTube, make sure you guys click the subscribe button, drop a comment and like it. If you're listening on audio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever, just rate me 5 stars. For some reason, it really helps in the algorithm, and sponsors do care about that. And I'm trying to get some sponsors. So tap in with the boy. Thank you for tuning in today. Sit back, relax. I'm only going to talk for a little bit here. And I'm going to sip this coffee real quick. So good. Vanilla iced latte from Starbucks. Hey, how are ya? So anyways, let's tap in right now. So John Koum, I think that's how you pronounce his name, right? I'm going to give you a brief synopsis on him. Very moving story, very interesting. He was born in Kiev, Ukraine in 1976. Koum grew up in a Jewish family in a society he felt was intrusive. His experience with the communist regime's lack of privacy was a strong influence on his commitment to user privacy later in life. That's an interesting note. He and his mother moved to Mountain View, California in 1992, but his father never joined them. The family faced immediate financial struggles, relying on welfare, food stamps, and government housing. Koum worked as a janitor at a grocery store, while his mother took on babysitting jobs. Wow. Education and career. Koum taught himself computer programming, and in 1996, he joined a hacker group. So this guy was hacking stuff. He enrolled at San Jose State University, where he met Brian Acton, his future co-founder. Interesting. He met his future co-founder in college. I'm going to talk about that in a second. While still in university, he began working as a security tester at Ernst & Young, amazing company, one of the big four. Koum dropped out of university to focus on his work as an infrastructure engineer at Yahoo, where he and Acton worked for about 9 years. 9 years he worked at Yahoo. That's a long time. How long have you been working at your company? I've been doing music for 10 years, a little over 10 years now at this point. That's a long time to do something. Take note of that. Founding WhatsApp and the Facebook acquisition. After leaving Yahoo, both Koum and Acton were famously rejected by Facebook when they applied for positions there. Amazing. This is a story we hear all the time in entrepreneurship about how somebody goes to apply to be working somewhere and then they get rejected, and then that creates some sort of inspiration where they end up working with that company later on in life. Inspired by the potential for a better messaging app, they co-founded WhatsApp in 2009. The app became immensely popular, and in 2014, Facebook acquired WhatsApp for $19 billion. One more time. $19 billion with a B. The same company that had rejected them earlier in their careers. Beautiful. So in 2009, they went to apply to go work at Facebook. And then in 2014, they sold WhatsApp for $19 billion to them. Koum even reportedly signed the acquisition papers at the same welfare office where his family once received assistance. What an incredible story. A few takeaways here. One of my last shorts, I talked about how you have to be obsessed with something in order to build it. You know, I talked about how no matter what position that you were born into, at one point or another, you have to make the decision to make your life what it's going to be. You have to make it happen. Somehow you got to figure it out. I talked about that. And then I've been getting some comments that are just straight up people making excuses about everything. They're like, psh, yeah, that's easy for you to say because or like, psh, yeah, well, sometimes life doesn't give you the tools. You're not born into that situation, so you can't do anything, and you just fail. And I'm like, yo, when did we turn into a society where we don't do hard shit, where we just like piss and moan and complain 24/7? Like, when did humans turn into this whole? When has this narrative started of like, oh, I wasn't born into this situation, so it's impossible for me, so I'm just gonna give up, and then this is my fate, that's just it. When did that happen? Humans, since the beginning, the inception of our race, have always yearned to achieve more. That's how we got here, right? Like, we didn't just stay as cavemen. No, we started to see things, learn, and then apply work ethic to it to achieve certain things, right? Like this microphone I'm talking into, this didn't exist at one point. Somebody had to found it, somebody had to create the idea, and then somebody had to apply it, and then somebody had to test it, and somebody had to fail, and somebody had to be persistent and keep going forward. This is how things are created. And I'm just noticing a trend of individuals in our society that are just like, yeah, things just are what they are and it is what it is. And it's just like a product of like laziness and excuses, and it's the wackest place to be in. It's so whack, and I don't want to be around it at all. Super whack. This guy, John Koum, hopefully I'm saying his name correctly, did not have that at all. John Koum came from Ukraine, and he had every single reason to make an excuse on why his life was going to be shit and it wasn't going to work for him. Because look, it was, right? That's a shitty situation to be in. Coming from that country, Ukraine, communist country, a lot of pressure, a lot of confusion, a lot of odds stacked against him. And then he comes to America, in California, with a single mom, on food stamps, on welfare. He's working as a janitor. He had all the odds stacked against him, right? He could have made every excuse in the book, and he had really good excuses on why his life was not going to work out the way he would hope it to work out. But he applied work ethic, remained persistent and consistent, and then he changed his life, and his in many generations to come within his lifelong, he changed their lives as well because he worked hard. It just goes to show that it's possible. Whatever situation that you're in right now, you can change it eventually. You can. You just need to lay the bricks every single day over and over and over again, and then one day you'll look up and things have changed. Take a look at his story right now, right? He taught himself computer programming. Didn't get an education in computer programming. He taught himself computer programming. Took the initiative. I taught myself how to rap. I taught myself how to record myself. I taught myself how to mix myself. I taught myself how to master the songs. I taught myself how to distribute the songs. I taught myself how to promote it, how to get on camera, how to talk, how to be funny on camera, how to post it, how to interact with fans, how to book my own shows, how to do the cover arts, how to design the clothes, how to even sell clothes online. What is print on demand? Self-taught. You need to teach yourself things along the way. Nobody's gonna come and teach you things for you, especially in today's day and age. All the information is out there. You have to choose to seek it out. Unless you're in some sort of an education system like school, but even that, school systems are insane. I haven't used the Pythagorean theorem once. Fuck the Pythagorean theorem. You know what I'm saying? You need to seek out what you're trying to learn and what you're trying to do. So he taught himself computer programming. Incredible. Also, let's take note of this. He meets his co-founder, Brian Acton, in university at San Jose State University. You know what's interesting about college? If you're in college right now listening to this, listen up. This is important to know. And I can say this. I went to college. I graduated college. I have a bachelor's degree. I did the thing. Check this out. What college does for you, it provides you with a built-in network that you can lean on and utilize. So let me put it this way. Most jobs that people get aren't just random jobs where people walk in and get a job interview and then they get placed. Most jobs, effective jobs, come from referrals, people in your network, calling your friends. Hey, where do you work at? Hey, I work over here. Oh, cool. I do X, Y, and Z. Do you think that I could get a referral? I saw this position open there. Your network is your net worth. I'm sure everybody's heard that before. Utilizing your network is extremely important. What college does is it takes you and a bunch of other people that like presumably get around the same type of grades because you all got into the same type of school, and it puts you guys all together and makes you live with each other and forces you to become friends and work a business together and live together. And so you have to get close to each other, and you get a built-in network when you graduate college. So when you leave and then you go into the real world, you now have people that you can call, text, and utilize as resources and lean on. Check this out. Fucking John Koum meets Brian Acton in college. They ended up co-founding a company together and selling it for multi-billions of dollars. All right? That's what I call leaning on your network, utilizing your resources in school. So if you're in college right now, keep those people close to you because those are the people that you're going to be going to the workforce together with. I did that when I graduated college. I got a job at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. That was from a referral. And then I got a job at K-Force, which was from a referral from somebody I met at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. And then I got a job at Toast, which is from a referral from somebody that I met at Toast. And then I've been working for myself since then. But my point in my story is I got all of my jobs out of college from referrals. Starting from college. Somebody I knew in college. Keep that in mind, okay? Very interesting. And then he worked at Yahoo for 9 years. 9 years. Why that's interesting is because 9 years is a long time to do anything. This guy didn't found WhatsApp a year after learning computer programming, okay? So like, let me actually look up real quick. Let's see when did he like, what's his timeline of starting WhatsApp to when they sold it? Let's see here. All right. He worked from 1997. Wow. 1997 at Yahoo all the way to 2007. Wow. Bought an iPhone in 2009 and then realized the potential of the App Store. He founded WhatsApp on his 33rd birthday. February 24th, on his 33rd birthday, guys. He was 33 when he started WhatsApp. 33. He wasn't 18. He wasn't 15. You got time. I'm 30 right now. We have time. On his 33rd birthday, he founds WhatsApp, right? Comes up with the idea for it. In 2011, so 2 years later, WhatsApp received its first significant investment from Sequoia Capital. That's interesting. A lot of people are starting their startup idea right now, and they're a couple months into it, and you're probably already feeling like, damn, I need to raise some money for this. You know, these guys didn't get to raise money until 2 years after WhatsApp was even an idea. Crazy. And he's 35 at the time. Think about that. In 2014, Facebook acquired WhatsApp for $22 billion. Oh my gosh, that's insane. This thing says 22 billion. I saw $19 billion. No matter what, it's a lot of fucking money. 2014, what a year for them. 2018, he resigned as CEO of WhatsApp and announced he would leave Facebook's board. Wow. And now he invests through his firm. Amazing. And holds shares in Facebook's parent company, Meta. Incredible. Huge takeaway from this is what I wanna look at is the timeline of events here. Okay, so somebody's calling me. When he had the idea for WhatsApp, it was after he was already at Yahoo for 9 years. So he already committed to something for a very long period of time. A lot of us, I feel like we get into jobs and roles and we're like there for 3 to 4 years and we're like, wow, this is a long time. Things aren't really moving for me. And granted, this was back in the day. By back in the day, it's like nowadays you can jump from job to job to job. And like, I'm cool with that. I understand that. Look, I did the same thing. But the whole point of me saying this is to say, sticking with something over a long period of time is crucial, and it's a theme amongst many successful people that we should all take into consideration when we're doing things. Like, my music career didn't start working until recently, and I've been doing it for about over 10 years. I'm coming into like 11 years, I'm pretty sure. So you need to take your time. You need to give yourself some grace if it hasn't worked out yet. It's okay. If you haven't gotten that new gym up and running just yet to the amount of members that you want it to, it's okay. If you've been doing it for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, it takes time. And age-wise too, it's like everybody wants to be rich at 19 years old, 18 years old. This guy founded WhatsApp when he was 33 years old. Let's see when he actually got rich then. So then in 2014, they acquired it for $22 billion. Holy shit. So let's take a look real quick. I don't know his exact birthday, but somewhere around 38 to 39 years old is when he finally made it. Wealth-wise. 38 to 39 years old, he finally figured it out. So you have time. You know, you don't need to have it all figured out right now. And I'm saying this to remind myself, because sometimes I get caught up with, like, right now I'm 30 and I'm doing so many different things. I have a lot on my plate. I do this podcast where I'm committed to releasing an episode every single week and building it over this long period of time. And that's what I'm excited about. I'm also releasing a song every week with my music. I'm doing that, and I've been doing it for a long time. And my music is the biggest it's ever been, ever. And I'm currently negotiating deals for my music that are doing very well. Just very excited about that. I'm worried about where I can invest my money correctly and make more money on capital and do some VC stuff here and there and try to be in the mix there so I can set myself up for generational wealth. I'm trying to do my best in terms of building Podgo, which is the company that I release this podcast through. I'm a partner in there. And my goal is to help build that company to $100 million exit one day over the next 5 years or so. And we are already doing very, very well. And I can see that as a possibility for sure. I'm trying to keep up with that. I'm trying to keep up with my fitness routine, my health routine. I have a marathon I'm running in January. I'm trying to stay up with that. I'm trying to keep up spiritually. I'm trying to pray every day. Trying to meditate, trying to journal, trying to stay with my friends, make sure I have my relationships there. You know, there's a lot to do in life, and I have a lot on my plate right now. And sometimes I get a little ahead of myself, or I get a little bit, how do I say this? I get a little bit burnt out, I guess, or sometimes paralysis by analysis, where I'm not sure exactly what to do. And then you end up kind of doing nothing and feeling down. Like yesterday, I was having a day where I was feeling like shit. And I shouldn't feel like shit in my life. To be honest with you, my life is amazing. It's incredible. I have the freedom to do what I want any time of the day. I have the freedom to do anything financially. I have the freedom to do really anything. My life's great. Everything's amazing. And it's amazing. Like some days I still get in my own head where I feel kind of down about shit and I'm like upset about things or stressed out. And it just goes to show that I have everything that I need in life. Us as humans create problems for ourselves. There are zero problems, real problems in my life. I'm just creating them in my head. And I'm putting things on my plate that create problems. And that's my own fault. And I think us as humans need to figure out a way to slow that down a bit and rewire our brain so that doesn't happen as much. Because if the goal is to have a peaceful, happy, fruitful, loving, positive life, we as humans can have that. We just create shit that gets into our way. And then not only do we create shit, we also put it on other people's plates and on their lives. And people do that to us, vice versa. That's why it's so important, the company that we keep, because they can create, what's the opposite of peace? War in our life. What would be the opposite of peace? Chaos, right? There's so many people in my life now that I'm working to low-key get out of my life. And I don't have as many people in my life anymore. I don't talk to as many people at all. And it's one, because my life is really busy and I don't have the time, and because I'm not doing the same things I used to do. I'm not focused on the same things that I was focused on when I was hanging out with those people. And I think that's respectable. That's understandable, because I understand that about other people. There's tons of people that don't hang out with me anymore or engage with me anymore in certain things. And I get it, because they're doing other things too. I'm not doing the same things I was doing when I was 10 years old. So why would I hang around the person that I was with when I was 10 years old if we are both doing completely separate things? It doesn't make as much sense. There's no time. So somebody like me, I don't think that I have it explained enough, and I'm trying to vent it out of my head that I have zero time for other things outside of what I'm doing for my job and my life. even on leisure side, like leisure time, like when I'm just chilling or hanging out, like I just like don't have as much time anymore for certain people. And it's just the way life goes because I'm trying to build something massive. And I feel like a lot of people may have the time that I don't have, and they may look at me like, bro, you have the freedom to do whatever you want. You're an entrepreneur. Like, you have your own life. Like, yes, sure. But the more I do that other thing, the less I focus on this thing. And to be honest, I want to focus on this. I want to focus on my job. I want to focus on my projects right now that I'm working on. And sometimes it gets hard for me to communicate that to people that don't understand that, because they're like, maybe focus on one thing, and they're looking at me like, well, Matt's fucking ignoring me, like he's like, because he's focused on this stuff over here, and like I make time. And it's like, yeah, but like we're living different lives. We're doing different shit. So anyways, I just went on a tangent right there, because to tie it back to John Koum, you can't create what John Koum created with Brian Acton. You can't create WhatsApp. You can't have a multi-billion-dollar exit while focusing your life entirely on other things. I guarantee they were obsessed with it. I'm guarantee all they were focusing on at the time was WhatsApp. And I know they were because I watched a bunch of interviews of John Koum and Brian Acton talking about how obsessed they were with WhatsApp and what they were building, and how time management was important, the 80-20 rule, how much time that they spend on building their thing. And that's where I'm at in my life right now. And I'm trying to focus on that because I'm 30 right now. Like, look, he didn't come up with WhatsApp until he was 33. And I'm not trying to measure myself against him, but I'm using that as kind of a thing of like, all right, 30, I've done pretty well for myself in areas that I want to do well for myself, but I have a vision for how my 30s up to 40s look like. And I have a vision what my 40s to 50s look like. And I know right now, this is my building years. Like 30 to 35, I'm building heavily. This is where I need to focus on this, on what I'm focused on, because I want to be worth $100 million one day. I do. And I know how, I have a plan on actually how to get there. And I want to do many other things as well too, but like that's my main thing that I really, really, really want to do. And then from there, I want to, as I'm working, you know, I want to be able to create a family, become a great husband, become a great father. That's what I want. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to create. And I'm hoping that people here that are watching this podcast, you're going to be able to ride with me along the journey and be here with me. That's what I think is dope about this whole platform, the whole podcasting thing. And we can learn together. So if you're on your journey right now, I want to know about your journey too. Shoot me a text, let me know, and maybe we can motivate each other. We can help each other out. And as we go through life, I think that's super important and it's ideal. So I just wanted to bring that up today just to kind of put John Koum's story in everybody's mind that, one, you may be doing okay. You may be doing just fine on time, and I'm doing just fine on time. And sometimes we just need a little bit of reminder to just kind of chill out and zero in and focus on what we need to focus on. Just how he and Brian focused on building WhatsApp, we need to focus on what we need to focus on. And also, if you're at a job that you don't like right now or someplace you don't want to be at, he was at Yahoo for 9 years. So you have time, you know? You don't need to have it all figured out right now, and you have time to figure it out later on. I had something that I wrote in my journal not that long ago, and it went like this: the world moves slow, I move fast. If I go out and I just sit down for 2 hours right now and put my phone down and don't do anything and just stared at a tree, I guarantee you that'd be the slowest 2 hours of my fucking life. But I do other things that make 2 hours go by fast. Therefore, the world actually moves slow. I move fast. You probably move fast too. You're probably flying through life, just like me. I think it's important to recognize we got to slow down a bit. It gives some grace to where we're at with life and how well we are doing, because there's no fucking manual. There's nothing that is like, hey, here's exactly what you're supposed to do. Even though I wish it was that way. I wish that there was some sort of like a step-by-step guide on your specific life. It's like, here, like start running here, like invest in this company here, buy Bitcoin in 1994. You know what I mean? It's like, I wish, date this girl, marry this one, don't marry that one. would be helpful, but it doesn't exist. So all we have is time and to try to do the right things every single day, over and over. A good day leads to a good week. Good weeks lead to good months lead to good years, good life. So take it day by day, and I'm going to do the same, and then we're going to get there. And then, hey, maybe one day I'm going to have a $22 billion exit of a company. I might do it. You might do it too. We got time. All we have to do is keep on working and focusing on that. Just want to bring that story to your attention today. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. Again, if you enjoyed this, you made it all the way to the end, shoot me a follow. I'm trying to build this YouTube channel, starting from zero. Help the boy out. This is the Process Podcast. My name is Matt Corman. Rate me 5 stars. Shoot me a follow. Let me know if you listen to this. Drop a comment, especially if you listen this far. I like knowing. You can drop a comment on Spotify as well too. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. I'll be having another episode drop next week, every single week until I stop doing this thing, which is hopefully never. Thanks so much. I love you guys. Hope you have a great day out there. Peace.